Now let's understand the 6-8 relationship. The basic criteria here is 6, the house of Virgo, and 8 as the house of Scorpio. 6th as the house of conscious effort, conscious deliberate effort, daily skills, selfless action, moving into transformation, renewal, new energy coming into the particular house aspects. Okay. So the 6-8 relationship is shared between any house and 6th place from itself. For example, 4th house to 9th house, because 9th house is 6th from the 4th house. 7th to 12th house, because 12th is 6th from the 7th house. 10th house to 3rd house, because again there is the 3rd house is 6th place from the 10th house, counting counterclockwise. Remember, everything is counted counterclockwise here. Number 2, 6th from any house shows daily work, routine, selfless actions with skill, and transformative results will be felt 8th from that house. That is, in the 7-12 case, as an example, if more faith, trust, and selflessly giving is made a daily habit, 12th house stands for that, selfless giving. And you're bringing the Virgo qualities to the 12th house, because 6th place from 7th is the 12th. So you bring Virgo-like qualities, which is selfless action, which is daily work. It's a daily thing to do, not once in a blue moon. Selfless actions with skill and transformation. Why am I mentioning skill here? Because this is the graduation of Mercury. Highest exaltation of Mercury is in skillful action. Remember, in Gemini, Mercury cultivates the beginnings of skills. In 6th house, in Virgo, it culminates bringing in that skill into bear, meaning you are using that skill in your daily effort, in your daily routines and work. Therefore, bringing about transformative results. So, in the 7-12 case, if more faith, trust, selflessly giving is made a daily habit, okay, then the relationship with spouse and others will be transformed, because 12th is 6th from the 7th and 7th is 8th from the 12th, right? From the 12th house, counting counterclockwise, 8 is 7th house. So 6-8 relationship is sort of a tricky thing to understand. Think of the 6th position as something where you have to take conscious action. And because of taking conscious action in any house which is 6th place, it ends up transforming that particular house, because it is 8th from that particular house. We'll see this in examples, it will be more clear. So 6th from a house shows conscious, deliberate, daily effort, skill sets needed in that area, like Virgo. Bring Virgo-like energy to bring about transformation, as in, what do I mean by transformation here? As in getting rid of unnecessary elements. This is debatable, because what we think as humans as unnecessary might be actually necessary for your soul perspective. The human beings, as we all are, we tend to get attached to certain things. I don't want to get rid of this person from my life, or I don't want to get rid of this job. Well, that might be what is needed to transform your life. That might be unnecessary. You're holding on to it. Scorpio comes along and gets rid of it. Keeping what's necessary only. That is Scorpio. That's why it results in renewal. That's the path for you to receive the true wealth. Now, wealth again does not mean bank balance here. True wealth for your soul. That's where your Scorpios are lying around. That is the 6-8 relationship. Conscious effort to achieve transformation. Virgo to Scorpio. That's the relationship we are talking about here. What is natal versus Navamsha? Number 1. Natal chart is all about physical body, personality, physical events of life, everything that is physical, your physical body. Even the 1 to 12 houses stands for specific places in the human body. For example, Pisces stands for feet, Aries stands for head, and everything in between stands from head to feet. Fifth house stands for the stomach. So it's all about physicality, physical events, physical personality, and it comes and goes as the physical events of life, as jobs, as people, as relationships, as money, as health, change in personality, change in desires, and so on. That's the natal chart. Navamsha, on the other hand, is all about your internal self, your soul self, your internal drives as you mature. Now, typically, most astrologers agree that it is considered to mature, or Navamsha is supposed to kick in at 32 years of age or onwards of a person's life. Everything beyond 32 years or 36 years, some astrologers say, considering maturity of Saturn. Or even after you have an intimate relationship of any kind, Navamsha starts off. So even if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, you are starting your Navamsha straight away. Okay, even if it's at an early age. Keep this in mind. Number 3, for transits and remedies of any kind. Now, so many people are giving out remedies on YouTube and online and on classes. Remember this, for transits and remedies, only take the natal charts. They are consulted because it has to do with the physical aspect of our life. What comes and goes. See the point number 1. So remedies and transits are only applicable or should be applied to natal chart and not to Navamsha or any further divisional charts, because natal chart has got still the highest number of points in Vedic astrology, and they are all about physical events and physical bodies. Everything physical in nature, everything in 3D. Number 4, the way to understand natal Navamsha relationship is study natal chart as the basis. That's the foundational basis. Navamsha as the means the soul is using to accomplish that which is already there in the natal chart. So essentially speaking, Navamsha ascendant, planets, etc. are mapped back into the natal chart to compare and study where the position of the sign planet has shifted and where is the area of focus of life, work, health, relationships, the soul desires to experience. Once we understand the basics of the house, the sign, the planet, the house relationships, only then can we begin to understand the process of study of planets, case studies, Atmakaraka, and so on. Okay, keep this as the basis of all understanding as we go further. Let's take the case of a Leo ascendant. Remember, the ascendant is already creative intelligence there, right? Leo is the creative intelligence, it's education, it's looking at the brighter side. Sun, it's ruled by the sun, therefore it is naturally very bright. And the tendency of the Leo ascendant is to have that light shine upon others. That's what its purpose and goal is. Now let's see the 6-8 with respect to its 10th house, the career. Now, the 3rd house is 6th from the 10th house, yes? So, and the 3rd house is also an 8th position from the 10th house. So counting counterclockwise, 8 from the 3rd house becomes the 10th house. Therefore, whatever happens in the skill set development, because Libra is falling in the 3rd house for a Leo ascendant. So whatever skills that the Leo cultivates as a daily habit, bringing the Virgo qualities now, as a daily routine, as a daily habits, having good relations with the neighbors. 3rd house is neighbors, 3rd house is siblings, 3rd house is friends. If a Leo ascendant cultivates this habit, a daily habit mind you, of cultivating and honing their skill sets with regard to people skills. Libra is the house of people. That's why Saturn is exalted in Libra. It's the house of people. Your association with people, they need to develop the skill sets because it is in the 3rd house. And the more they do this cultivation of the skill sets, it will end up transforming their career path. It'll end up giving them new insights of how to earn more wealth. Second sign of Taurus is falling in the 10th house, which is the house of resources, money, speech, wealth. All that will start getting improved if they improve the house of Libra, which is in their 3rd house. So they have to communicate well. They have to learn to use their mind. It's an air sign. Libra is using the mind and Virgo-like qualities, so you have to cultivate the skill sets. You have to bring in that speech, which is in the 2nd house, in order to make it balanced way to handle others. Libra is about balance. The moment Leo learns this trick, they will get the leadership and the fame that they so desire in their career paths. They will get more money, they will get more wealth, because it's the sign of Taurus, of resources. They will even find more resources to make it work because it is getting transformed. The 8th position from house number 3 is house number 10. This is how in every ascendant, if you look at this, the relationship between 10 and 3, it is said that you have to cultivate daily skill sets about whatever it is. The sign changes, therefore the quality of what you have to accomplish changes through the ascendant. Let's take another example. Let's take the case of Libra ascendant. Now, Libra ascendant is focused on partnerships. This is why if Libra ascendants don't have good partnerships, they don't make it very well in life. This is the similar case for all ascendants, by the way. Look at the quality of the sign. That will be the most dominant theme for the ascendant. Because it's about partners, let's see the 6-8 relationship with respect to the 7th house. Now we talked about 7 and 12. The 12th house is always in a 6-8 relationship with the 7th house. So what's in the 12th house for a Libra ascendant? It's Virgo itself, but it's in the 12th house. Which means for a Libra ascendant, they have to spend their energy and work selflessly, see Virgo qualities, as a daily habit, working in something to do with spirituality. This will transform their relationship with their spouse. They have to learn to forgive, because Virgo tends to hold a lot of grudges, a lot of nitpicking. If they stop holding those grudges, let it go, because it's in the 12th house of letting go. 12th house is the house of letting go of whatever is there. In this case, Virgo being the sign of debts, disease and enemies. So if any enemies you have to let go of them, because you're talking about a relationship here. So if you establish that forgiving attitude with others in a very spiritual context, like let go and let God kind of thing, if the Libran ascendant learns that, it will end up transforming somehow their relationship with the spouse, because the 8th from the 12th house is the 7th house. They might have even new beginnings in their relationship, because this is the sign of Aries. Of course, all of this depends upon the planetary positions. We are not getting into that. We are just getting into the basic relationships of interplay between the house, in this case 6-8. We can take this for other houses as well, because every house with some other house in the chart does share a 6-8 relationship, isn't it? And it's a difficult sign, a difficult combination for human beings to deal with, because neither do we like daily work, neither do we like transformation. We can speak all day and night and years together endlessly about transformation, but nobody likes it. In fact, everyone hates it. Why? Because you don't know what's coming. Renewal via death is the energy of Scorpio. So you don't know what's coming. Nobody is prepared for what they don't know what's coming. The unknown, the fear of the unknown comes in Scorpio. But Scorpio, all it's trying to do is getting rid of stuff that it sees from a higher perspective as unnecessary, getting rid of those elements, people, places, things, money, etc., to make room for something new to figure out in your life. Let's take one more example. Let's take Sagittarius ascendant. Ascendant is ruled by Jupiter. which wants to seek what? It wants to seek higher knowledge, higher wisdom, higher learning of all kinds. It may be even mainstream, it may be even spirituality, it may be teaching, it may be any of these lines, because Jupiter is a teacher by default. So the ascendant is looking for this, which is the place of higher learning, the ninth house, where Leo is sitting in case of Sagittarius ascendant. So if it wants to transform this house, what do we look for? Where is the conscious effort needed by a Sagittarius ascendant? In this case, it's the second house, because that's the sixth place from the ninth house. Yes, we are counting 6 places. So second house of a Sagittarius ascendant has Capricorn in it. Capricorn is what? Capricorn is daily work, daily routine. Working as in career. They may even take careers which are suited to more of finance line, for example, right? Because second house has to do with money. But nevertheless, we are talking about gaining higher wisdom. So when you talk of wisdom, and if it comes, Capricorn comes in the second house, so what does Sagittarius ascendant need to do here? Well, they need to take care of family. They need to take care and feed their family well. Second house is the house of Taurus. It's the house of food. So taking care of family, feeding them food, nourishing them with good speech, okay? Working for the family, working for the benefit of the family. The 10th sign is about work, working for the benefit of the family. Sharing their wisdom of work with the family. Just putting in all things together now. Second house, Capricorn, work, and so on. If they do this on a daily basis, like the Virgo style of doing things is daily basis, this becomes sixth to this house. If they do that, if they carry out Virgo-like daily work with family, with wealth, with food, spend a little less, they will spend a little less. Sagittarius people can be stingy because Capricorn is in second house. Yes. So if they spend on the family, if they spend their efforts in cultivating proper speech, proper food, proper resources of wealth, not be very stingy about it, because Capricorn tends to become stingy. Become a little generous with the family. That's essentially what I'm saying. If the Sagittarius ascendant does that, somehow, in some unknown way, it will end up getting them a lot of wisdom. Maybe even a lot of fame, because this is Leo, house of Leo falling here. But in some unknown way, their behavior with their family, if it improves, not very Saturnian style, but yet bringing in the daily hard work in improving immediate relations with their own family, it ends up improving their sense of wisdom which they are seeking, because this is the ninth house is eighth from the second house. Therefore, it will transform this in one manner or the other. We don't know how. With Scorpio, this is the difficult part, because we don't know how it will transform, or what part of it will transform, or how long things will transform. All these are very linear concepts. Scorpio is anything but linear. It's ruled by Ketu. So in an unknown way, unnecessary elements will be removed. Whatever was blocking your wisdom, because that's what he is seeking in Sagittarius ascendant, it will be removed, and you will get higher perspective about things. You will get higher perspective about education itself, because Leo is education. But it's funny because these two houses don't seem interrelated, isn't it? How has taking care of family, taking care of wealth and food and family affect my wisdom? I mean, these two things seem totally disjointed. That's the magic of the 6-8 relationship. Let's see one more example. Let's take the case of Aquarius ascendant to finish off with. Aquarius is 11th house ruling the first house. Therefore, it is very intent and focused about the masses, which is the 11th house. What's in the 11th house? It's Sagittarius. It is learning about the masses. First, it has to spend time learning about the masses. But let's say I want to transform my relationship with the masses as an Aquarius ascendant. What do I look for? The 6th place from Aquarius, from the 11th house, which is the 4th house in this case, which has Taurus in it. Taurus is about food, wealth, resources, speech. Speaking properly to the mother, speaking properly to the people who you are associated with in your home, in your homeland, speaking properly to people in your home. If Aquarius does this, somehow it will end up transforming or giving you more knowledge about how to handle the masses, which is what your basic interest is. We don't know how, because these are not directly related to one another. The 4th house of mother, home and homeland has nothing to do with masses. Take more examples like this, study on your own, leave your comment if you feel a little more confused about it. Of course, the planets also will have a 6-8 relationship. Okay? So all of this applies to planets as well as signs. I'm just analyzing on a blank chart here for ease of understanding. But the principle is the same. Okay? What you work from the 6th position ends up transforming it in an unknown way, removing unnecessary elements of those from your life and bringing in the necessary parts. That's the Virgo-Scorpio 6-8 relationship. Next we shall see the balance 7-7 relationship. Take care.